made this beat.
Welcome to Kicking It with KB. I am your host, KB. As you see, we're doing something a little bit different this time around. I am only here with Akeem today. But the other members, Shakira, Kanye, they are here also. You will hear them in the background asking us questions because our conversation or our topic for today is a little bit more intimate, I guess you can say. Even though all of our conversations that we have are important, this one's literally all based off of personal experience with me and Jamal. Like, it doesn't go any further than that. Or Akeem. Today we are going to talk about. Oh my gosh, we are going to talk about when we got pregnant when I was 19 and Jamal was 20. So 19 and pregnant.
Technically, I was still 19 when you.
Oh yeah, you were. I keep forgetting we're the same age for. No.
Yes, I was. Heaven came in April 4th. I was still 19.
But no. You were. You're right because you would turn 20 May 5th.
Month, yes.
You're right. Yeah. Dang.
See, look. See,
I know,
you already about to lose this battle. You know what I'm saying? Because my memory on point. You know what I'm saying?
But we're gonna start from the beginning. In no shape, way, or form. Disclaimer: are we influencing or encouraging anybody to have sex at
what?
19 at a young age?
Oh no, I ain't.
Or if you do, then make sure you use protection or use the precautions so that you won't have a baby at our age. Why are you making that face? In my opinion. Because did we plan it? No. Just let's get that out of the way. We did not plan it, okay? He didn't risk nothing. We didn't plan anything. We didn't plan anything. So
I sure did.
I'm not condoning or encouraging. I'm not condoning or encouraging any young females or couple to have a baby, okay? No. So let's get that out there. At a young age. At a young age.
Unexperienced age.
Yeah. We'll say that too, yeah.
Sometimes you can be a young age but still be mature.
Which is true. But I'd rather it be at a point where you have your life together. You feel like you have your life together.
Sure.
So yeah.
Those my chips.
Yeah. So no. Come on. Anyways.
Damn.
We about to start over.
No, we not. Keep going.
So, what was it? 2012. I was home from college. I'm not gonna mention the name of the school I went to, but home from college. Then it was time to go back to school in August because I played volleyball. Probably September, I realized I didn't get my period. And I was like, I don't really ever miss that. For real. I remember the only time I didn't miss it was when I was stressed, and then that was it. But that was the only time I had ever missed it. So I already knew something was wrong. I was like, okay. But I was like, you know what? Maybe it'll happen next month. Still didn't happen. So I was like, okay. So my friend at the time, Rakita, had bought me a pregnancy test. And she had told me, she was like, oh, I think you're pregnant. So she got me a pregnancy test. She had bought herself one too at the time for reasons that I will leave on her. Went to the bathroom, took the test. And then she was like, Carly, okay? I did not say anything because I didn't know what to do. Like, that Jane said.
Scary.
That Jane said, pregnant. And I was just like, man, just sitting and looking. She was like, Carla. Finally came out and I showed her and I said, it says I'm positive. I'm pregnant. So she's like, man, what are you going to do? I was like, I don't even know. I was like, had to tell him, of course. So I sent him a picture of the test. And this man said, No, he asked. He said, "Was it somebody else's picture? Like, did I Google the picture and send it to him? Was it a?" And I was just like, "No, yeah." I was like, "No." I said, "No, this is mine." I said, "Jamal, I'm pregnant," and he didn't say anything at first. He was like, "Man, like I didn't. It was just so obviously, like I said, it wasn't planned. So didn't think that would happen at 19 years of age. So I told him. He said he would talk to me later because I think he was in class at the time when I told him. Right?
Yeah.
He was in class. So then I just for the rest of that day I didn't really do anything. I told a couple of my other friends at the school, but I still kept playing volleyball because it wasn't dangerous for me to play. I was only like maybe, if not still under 4 weeks or at 4 weeks, probably like 8 weeks. So I still kept playing volleyball, but then I started going to this place up there that was for girls who get pregnant, have unplanned pregnancies and stuff. Got my prenatal vitamins from the lady. They did an ultrasound, took pictures, and then took counseling for deciding how to tell your parents. Because that's what I was really
But
don't
don't you have to, like, even if you take a pregnancy, I mean, I didn't even cut you off.
No, you're fine.
When you do take a pregnancy test,
Mhm.
don't you have to second confirm?
Take the second one?
Yeah, second confirmation with the doctors or with a physician.
Which they did. They gave me another one too.
Okay.
And I it was still positive. Yeah, still pregnant. So yeah. So when I was talking to them about how they gave me options, well, they told me what the options were. Obviously, you can keep the baby, abort it, give it up for adoption. Just doing what they were supposed to do. The place was really nice, so I didn't mind it. I told them I obviously was gonna keep it because I didn't believe in aborting it. And then yeah. And
See,
then
at that time, no.
so she asked me, she was like, well, do you want to tell first? I didn't know who I wanted to tell first because, she was like, some people start off with, like, if they can't tell their parents, to start off with siblings or a pastor, their best friend, someone that they might feel a little bit more comfortable telling rather than, their parents, because they're going to be upset. It didn't matter. Yes.
Why you raising your
I don't
hand?
know, because she's weird.
Because I just didn't want to
Hey, man, chill out.
Yes.
But I thought you told Jamal first. Is this after the appointment?
This is after I already told him. We went past that part.
Okay.
You yeah, you were.
Man.
So I was like, you know what? I was like, I'll tell a sibling first. Now, mind you, me and my
Wait, so when
sister,
you say sibling, like, okay.
me and my sister, Nichelle, we were not, our relationship was not like how it was today when I was thinking about telling her, which was why I was surprised when I thought about it, why I wouldn't have told Carl first instead of Nichelle, but I benefit of the doubt.
Crack juice.
And I love her. Like I said, our relationship is obviously way better than it was back then, but it wasn't as much. It wasn't. I didn't enjoy it. It should have been better at that time, but it wasn't, unfortunately. But yeah, so I was like, I'll tell Nichelle first. So I text her, and I sent her the picture of the ultrasound because we had pictures by that time. And she was like, Carla, she was like, what is that? I said, the baby. She was like, whose baby is that? I said, it's mine. She was like, are you serious? And I said, yes. So called her, had a conversation with her. And I asked her, I said, please do not tell anybody else. You were the first person I told because she asked me not to tell our parents yet. No. I said, please do not tell anybody else. Okay. Like maybe 15 to 20 minutes later, I get a phone call from my other older sister, Nataya. And I was just like, I was just like, huh. So answer the phone. Of course, Taya had a bunch of questions, which is, understandable. But then she gave me a time limit of when I had to tell my parents. I disliked that so much. Like, I'm already stressed out, already crying all over the place. And then when she gave me a time limit of when I had to tell mom and dad, like I had like 3 days or something like that to tell them, or she was going to tell them. I was just like, okay. So I called Jamal, and I told him what he said. He was like, you shouldn't have told her. You shouldn't have told any of them. You should have just told your parents first.
I'm gonna step in because I already had said don't tell nobody.
It's like they're kind of blackmailing you to tell.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Make someone have
at
to
that
tell
time,
them.
like I was like, what kind of shit is that? You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's
Yeah.
How does
I
that?
wish your mom would have gave me a time limit.
Hey, look, nigga, you got 5 minutes to go tell somebody. You know what I'm saying? What kind of shit is that? Right? I'm telling. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that part. That's new to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of the things, I should have said that in the beginning too. A lot of y'all are going to find out some things that you're not going to like.
I didn't like that.
A lot of y'all going to.
I said I did like that because even in the first trimester, that's when you're stressed up.
I know.
Right,
And I said that, yeah.
It was it was a time.
But and then they probably didn't understand pregnancy because they never experienced that. You know? Exactly, but you see,
message.
But I'm gonna be quiet. I ain't gonna do it.
But y'all gonna hear some things that you might not, I'm not gonna say might not, that you will not like and will disagree with, whether it was something somebody said, somebody did. But like I said, all is forgiven. We're just still telling our side of the story, because we're telling our story, not even our side, because a lot of people don't know what Jamal and I'm saying your name, Jamal and I went through when when I first got pregnant. Like, it's not that we didn't expect everybody's reaction. Like, we didn't expect anybody to be like, "Oh my goodness," especially from my side, growing up in a religious home where we didn't, you're not supposed to have sex after you're married, you're supposed to stay virgin, all that stuff. So I wasn't expecting anybody to be joyed that we were having a baby. Yes, it's up here. Okay. But some of the stuff that did happen, I also didn't expect to happen, like getting a time limit of when to tell my parents. I didn't expect that was gonna be part of the journey, but it was. So yeah, I did it. I did not tell my brothers. I didn't tell either one of my brothers until I got home. I believe. Now, they will correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I didn't tell either one of them until I got home. I told my mother first before I told my dad. I had what? Oh no, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. I wanted to tell Mom first because I was like, Mom would probably not be as mad as Dad. So I said, let me tell Mom first. I told her the very last volleyball game I decided to stop playing because I was 3 months at this point. So I said, I can't play anymore. I can't keep diving. I told my coaches. I told my team. Of course, they were sad and everything too, but they understood and they still let me be a part of the team even though I couldn't play. But my very last game that I played, I texted her. I texted her this long text. And then threw my phone down the seat and went into Chipotle with the rest of the team to get food because I didn't want to answer the call. I was just like, you know what? I'll just wait until we get back on the bus. And my teammates were like, Carla. So
I'm gonna beat your ass.
So when I got back on the bus, I saw my phone, missed phone calls. Mom was like, call me. And we got back to the campus. I called her. And she answered, and I was just like, hello. She didn't really say anything at first, but she was just like, are you okay? And I was just like, I'm okay. I told her, are you okay? And she was like, Carla, why would you, why? She like asking, like I said, expect of a parent. And I was just like, Mommy, I know. And I started crying. I instantly started crying. She was like, don't upset yourself because you don't want to stress yourself out. She was like, don't.
You know why?
She was like, don't get upset. She was like, did you tell Jamal? I said, yes, I told Jamal. She was like, okay. She was like, is he still here? I said, yes, he's still here. She was like, okay. She was like,
I left the country.
She was like, okay. She was like, okay. She was like, well, we'll get some sleep because it's late. She was like, I'll talk to you in the morning. I said, okay. So I told Jamal and I told him that I told Mom and told him everything. We didn't stay on the phone that much longer either because like I said it was late. So the next day, she did, which I was very surprised. Mom took it a lot better than I thought that she was gonna take it.
I have a question to ask you when you stop this because it's kind of a personal question to ask. But go on.
Okay. So the next day, I called her. We talked about everything. I told her I was seeing a doctor, that I was taking my prenatal vitamins, that I was talking to my teachers. Tell them, like, especially first trimester, you nauseous, you throwing up, and all that stuff that I told my teachers, messaged all of them and said, I might be missing some class because if I don't feel good, I'm not coming. But my teachers were working with me. Like, I was fine. Told her everything. She was like, okay, we'll talk more about it and all that good stuff. So I said, okay. Now, I still had to call Dad because she asked me, did I call Dad? I said, no, I haven't called Dad. She said, Carl, you need to call Dad. I said, yeah, I thought, and
Can you just, you know?
And I thought
You like slide in there, and then I just, you know, come from the back behind you, like.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted her.
You know.
I wanted her to tell him, but you know, I think she did tell him, but I think she wanted me to talk to him because I didn't talk to Dad. So when I was walking somewhere, I just remember it was walking past the track. So either I was probably going to lunch or something. I don't know. I was walking with one of my friends, and I called Dad, and I said, "Hey, Dad." He was like, "Special one." Didn't sound mad or anything. He said, "Special K." He was like, "I was waiting for you to call me." Cried again. I was like, "Were you really?" He was like, he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I've been waiting for you to call me. I was wondering when I was going to hear from you and everything because you didn't call me." I was just like, "I'm so sorry, Daddy." I was like, I didn't know. I thought you were going to be mad at me. He was like, "Well, I mean, Carla, come on." But he was like, "I've been waiting for you to call me." And I was like, "Okay." He was like, "You good? You okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good." He was like, "Okay." He was like, "We're going to probably come up to see you, you know, to make sure everything's good and all that good stuff." It was a nice conversation.
It's way better than I thought you were.
I'm trying to tell you, like, y'all, you know what? Because he probably had his moment when he was at home. So, you know, they probably, you know, my parents, one thing I will say, they were always reasonable when it came to certain things. They weren't irrational, but not. Yeah, so, you know, what that's when. Is there anything like you could have, anything you want to add, or you want me to keep going?
I mean, you can keep going. I'm gonna just tell like
when
my
we get to the
version
part
on my
when,
side.
Okay. So, after that, my parents randomly came to school. I didn't know they were coming up. I didn't know when they were coming up there. I knew they were gonna be up there one day, but they just came to school. And I was just like, "Hey, surprise, surprise, they're here," you know. And I was excited to see them. And then, the volleyball team was going, I think, to New Orleans. I might be wrong, but they were going somewhere down south that I really wanted to go to because I'd never been there before. You know, they had the room set up and everything. They said I could still go. So I was telling them about it. Mom said, "We're packing your stuff." And I was just like, "Huh? Like, what do you mean we're packing your stuff?" She was like, "We're packing your stuff." She was like, "We're packing up your stuff and we're going home." So that same night that they came up to my school was the very last day. My team. No, you know what? Rewind. I was telling them about the trip, and Mom told me not to go. That I couldn't go because I'm guessing because I was pregnant. I don't know, but she said I couldn't go. So that weekend they were already gone. That's how I remember because I didn't get to say bye to anybody. Right. Nobody was there, and I was upset because if I had known that was going to be my last time seeing them before they left, then I would have been said my goodbyes and, you know, and said bye to anybody that I cared about. Right. So I was literally like a thief in the night, just gone. Like, didn't get to really, maybe I got to say bye to, what are they called? What are those people called? No. The people that watch your dorm, that in your hallway. Huh? Yeah, I said bye to my RA, and then maybe one other person. That was it. I didn't get to see. And then Mom also took my phone. Damn. I was like, "What?" And you know, my dad was like trying to talk, like, "You got to take her phone," but she took the phone from me while I was packing my stuff. I'm crying and packing everything. And that.
What you take the phone for?
I don't know.
The worst thing that could have possibly happened already done happened.
and she gave it back to me on the way to Chesapeake when we were driving back. So she gave it back to me when we were in the car. But she probably. But I remember Dad when I finished packing and we started taking stuff downstairs. Mom was in front of us and I broke down again. And Dad patted me on the back. He told me it was. I mean, I'm already pregnant and I'm already I was already emotional before. But yeah, Dad patted me on my back. He said and he told me that it was gonna be okay. And then we were on the way home, and we were home.